It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. Next on Madden NFL 25.
It's one of the NFL's newest venues, but it's already earned a reputation as one of its best. This is US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Welcome to another entertaining matchup, folks. Kate Scott, Brock Ewart on the call in this one. Brock, a couple of running backs down on the field who can really take over their offenses when they get in the groove.
And I think that's going to be the ultimate goal of both of these offenses, right? I mean, there's just no confusion about it. They want to get their bell cow in that groove and get them going. Find that rhythm where they're ripping off chunk yardage, run after run, and then just keep on feeding that beast. In a game like this, whichever offense can get that rhythm and run game going first is likely going to be your winner.
Has it all teed up. And we're off from US Bank Stadium. Here's Steven Sims with the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. So here come the Texans for their opening drive. And leading them out is someone who became an absolute superstar last year as a rookie. Drafted second in 2023, it's C.J. Stroud.
It didn't take long for C.J. Stroud to make an immediate impact into the NFL, and it didn't take long for me, Kate, to form an opinion, but this guy is just different. He just processes the game quicker. Remember talking to Ryan Day on the practice field in Columbus, watching him in college, and he just alluded to that as well. It's the anticipation. It is knowing where everybody is and getting that ball out before any receiver will even break on a route. C.J. was unique in that way, and that skill set has been a big part of his success.
Bails out of the pocket quick. He's running with it. And he gets back to the line, but no more. The rookie out of Alabama, they're on the tackle.
What an excellent job there by the defense. Once he gets out on the move, to be able to corral and contain him and not give up any yards. So often the unit can't keep that contained, and a play like that will go for a big gain.
On play action, here's Stroud. And that catch is made down the right sideline. Great effort there. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
Now they'll hit the line just outside the red zone following that big play. Stroud throwing here on first. He's got it, room to run. And he's brought down. They're going to mark him at the 14. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
All right, here we go, second down. From the gun, Stroud. That's complete to Diggs on the slant. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason. This is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
They come to the line here, and this is 3rd and 6. Shotgun now for Stroud. Complete beyond the marker. And he will score. It's a Houston touchdown. The Texans take a 6-0 lead on their opening drive. So a touchdown on the board for them, Brock, as they start this game off a perfect 1-for-1 offensively.
Yeah, I'm going to call that scripting for success right there. Can't do it much better than that. And listen, when you script these first plays, you don't always know who the targets are going to be. It's really then relying upon what the defense is trying to take away. But they couldn't take away that big old tight end.
Here's Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. That one splits the uprights. And they add one on to their first touchdown of the contest. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. It's Brandon Powell with the return. The return manages to get just beyond the 30. So we'll see the Vikings offense now for the first time. And we'll take a glance at their 7th-year QB.
Sam Darnold's seen an awful lot in his career. Now he's hoping the 4th time is an actual charm. After being a first-round pick, it seems like eons ago for the New York Jets, the guy's experienced a ton of football. And I'll say this, he went into one of the great QB incubators there with Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco. And now we'll all get a chance to see how much he really did learn, how much he really did grow. He is still young in his career. And with the supporting cast in Minnesota, including a pretty dynamic receiver on the outside, he's got some nice tools.
And he won't escape this. The Texans take him down. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
That is not a good omen at all. You spend so much time, Kate, on the first 15 plays, and that first play, you've rehearsed it in your head over and over as a quarterback, as an offensive line. You never, ever want to go backwards, have such a negative play, but now you got to flush it and quickly move on.
They really need some chunk yardage here on 2nd down. Another try following the sack. Rifles it, and it's caught. And they're going to touch him down after a short pickup.
This is one of those kind of win-win situations. Both sides feel good. As an offense, I get a completion. I get a win. As a defense, I keep everything in front of me. I make the tackle for a short gain. I get a win, too. Sometimes you can get to win-win.
3rd and long for him here. Able to find Jones. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks.
I'm a big fan of the screen pass. Really, you can run a screen as they just showed on any play. 1st, 2nd, 3rd down, sometimes even 4th. But it takes great acumen, a great football IQ defensively to have an awareness it's coming, and then more importantly, to stop it.
Now we'll see Ryan Wright come on for the Vikings to punt this away on 4th. Fair catch made here at the 30. So no return on that punt. And it's going to be Texans football. Now we'll see the Houston offense for their 2nd drive of the contest. And they take the field exactly where they want it to be, Brock. Up a touchdown early and with the home crowd a little quieter than normal.
I'm not going to lie to you, Kate. I think most quarterbacks, competitors love playing on the road when they do just this. Just quiet them. Right? Turn them against their own team. They were quiet after that opening touchdown. You score another one, they're going to start to murmur, and we might even hear a few boo birds.
Completed to Collins. And he's out of bounds beyond the 35-yard line. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. Short pass caught by his tight end. And he's tackled for a short gain.
This defense didn't give up contain there, Kate. That was an instance where more exciting plays were taken away downfield. And even looking to the tight end wasn't going to net them much.
3rd and just 2 to go. Stroud from the pistol. Diggs there to bring it in. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And the Texans are going to have a first down.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of third downs just like that.
First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. A handoff from Mixon, running right. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. He gets a couple on first, and they'll come up 2nd and 8. Throwing is Stroud. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Back now, pressure on its way. He has the first over the middle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They strike for 23 yards. And it sets up a Houston first.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
And they've got themselves another 1st and 10. Back to throw, Stroud. He finds Stover. And he's going to be stopped at the 17-yard line.
Kid, I promise you, if you and I got to travel the country and watch young quarterbacks, even really good high school quarterbacks, out routes are the hardest to complete. Slants, goes, fades, all that stuff comes somewhat naturally, but really trusting yourself to throw that out route, that comes with time and experience.
To the air yet again, it's Stroud. Pass taken in by Diggs. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. A give to Mixon up the middle. And they sent it straight ahead, but the front stops him after a gain of 3. Second down now, 7 to go. Mixon on the toss. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out.
Oh, that vision he has when he gets into space like a chess master, seeing multiple moves ahead of time. He knows who's going to attack and at what angles, and he maneuvers his way through before someone could finally get to him.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. They're going to run here. It's Mixon. And he'll only find 1 yard up the gut. 2nd down.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
They're lining up on the doorstep. 2nd and goal from inside the 1. Motioning one of the tight ends. Again, the give to Mixon. And he'll get this across. Touchdown, Houston. The Texans take a 13-0 lead. It's a Joe Mixon touchdown. So, Brock, this offense looking sharp here in the first half as they extend their lead.
You know, and when things are going well, sometimes you really just get into a groove. And this is a unit that's putting the pieces together.
Fairbairn now for the PAT. That one right down the middle. And they'll continue adding to their lead. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Return starts at the 3. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. And they can go ahead and stay in that huddle. We're at the end of the first quarter. Our score, 14-0. More from US Bank Stadium after the break. We're ready now for the second quarter to begin. Vikings in control of it. They'll try to attack this deficit starting with 1st and 10. Starting the drive with a give to Jones. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Jones once more. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. They get about 4 there. Need a little more than that now on 3rd and 6.
When you don't have great success on 1st down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. That play, well, it does the same here. Now a much more manageable and opportune 3rd down situation.
Got him in over the middle, complete. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. An excellent gain, 20 yards there, and that's going to move the sticks.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
New set of downs for him from the 46. They go play action on 1st. Throw drifted too much, and it's going to wind up incomplete out of bounds.
You hear defensive coaches preach this all the time about not giving up the big play. Keep everything in front of you. They're going to need to stay vigilant because he's definitely a receiver who can take the lid off of a defense.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Now Darnold. He's on the move. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And that pushes him back. 3rd down coming up.
Kate, I don't know if I've ever told you, but my dad was a driver's ed teacher. And I could just hear him right now say, son, take this out of reverse and put it in drive, because this one's going nowhere right now. A drastic change on this play needed, and maybe a whole lot of luck to keep this series alive.
So not an enviable spot here as they come up on 3rd and very long. Darnold now to throw. Did not like what he was seeing, Brock, and he just hurls this one away.
There was almost no resistance offered against a rush that came off the line ready to maul anything in sight. It was all the QB could do to get rid of that before he gets absolutely clobbered.
Ryan Wright on to punt. And he'll try to have his 2nd punt top his 1st one. And the fair catch made here at the 15. The Texans and running back Joe Mixon headed out for their next series. And while one sideline has 0 points, this offense, well, they have had 0 issues so far getting into that end zone.
They are rolling right now, Kate, and unless there's a speed bump on the immediate horizon, things are at risk of getting out of hand.
Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Stroud. They dump it off to the back. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
Kate, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason. And one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. And it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up.
You really want those throws to be like clockwork for your offense. Every team needs to hit passes in that short to intermediate range to effectively move the ball.
Stroud now on 3rd. Caught by Diggs. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
First down, ball at the 36. Out of the shotgun, a give to Mixon. And he's still looking for the play that sparks the ground game as that one stopped for a loss.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back, because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline and his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
Here's 2nd and 11. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete. Trying to find his tight end. And that's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long.
You know, he might complete 99 out of 100 of those short, simple routes to the tight ends. Even the shortest and simplest of throws, well, it's due to end up in a drop at some point.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stroud. Here's pressure, and he's dropped by the Vikings. And the defense comes through, and that's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
Kate, I've seen a one-step drop. I've seen a 3, a 5, a 7. Some of the boots and play actions get more depth, but a 20-step drop? That's not going to cut it. Except for this defense, it just adds a whole bunch of negative yards to that play.
Texans going to kick this away on 4th, and it's Tommy Townsend on for the punt. Brandon Powell on the return for the Vikings. He has it at the 33. And they bring him down to put a stop to that return. That one an impressive 57-yard kick. And it's going to be Vikings football. Set of downs for him at the 38. They send the tight end in motion. Throwing with a blitz on the way. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Throwing from the gun. Juke the defender. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Into the hands of Jefferson, complete. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40. They gain 14 on the play. And it'll bring up a Minnesota first down.
As a quarterback, when you throw that curl route, you know it's a tight window, Kate. But the minute that DB turns and can't react to the throw, you put it right on your receiver's numbers. He comes back and gets it and moves the sticks.
1st and 10 from the 41. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. And he's going to be taken down a yard shy of the 25. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
To the line we go. They're set, 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle to Jones. And he carries it for a big gain that gets him down into the red zone. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
2nd and 3 now. Staying on the ground with Jones. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. So it's the 2-minute warning here from Minneapolis. It's the Vikings, looking at 1st and 10. Throwing here, Darnold. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Minnesota! The Vikings make it a one-score game before halftime. It's a Justin Jefferson touchdown. Well, great work there, Brock. They weathered the storm, and now they've gotten themselves right back into this ball game.
Anybody who's played this game has been here before. The game doesn't start the way you want. You're in a big hole, and all you can do is climb out of it. And the words of Pete Carroll resonate. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Now it's Will Reichert on for the extra point. That one splits the uprights. And they're a point closer now on the scoreboard. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Dameon Pierce now to return it. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. Houston's offense back out now, ready to go. They seem likely to carry the lead into the locker room, but some points here to end the half could make things even more comfortable. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. From the gun, Stroud. Wow, wide open here, complete. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They're going to move the chains after a big play, 39 yards.
Just excellent effort on that catch and a lightning quick transition from bringing that football in to getting vertical. He was not content for a second to end that play where he caught it. Any catch he makes, his intent is to put some serious yards on top of it.
So the complexion of this drive has changed dramatically now. New set of downs inside the 35. Schultz with the catch. And he'll go down. Looks like they're marking him at the 11. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And the Texans are going to have a first down.
Just about every defensive coordinator worth his salt says two things in every production meeting. Number one, well, we got to stop the run. And number two, we got to take away the tight end. Well, good luck doing that. Defending a big guy who can move like that, it's a lot easier to talk about than to...
And he will score. It's a Houston touchdown. The Texans grow their lead just before halftime. Now the second time we've had the privilege of calling a touchdown pass to him in this opening half, Brock, and you're starting to get the feeling that he isn't done yet.
Well, but defensively, Kate, you got to do something different. It's kind of like a pitcher who gives up a home run and then a second home run to that same guy. You are not going to give him a pitch to hit, and this defense has got to start taking this receiver away.
Fairbairn now for the PAT. That one right down the middle. And they'll continue adding to their lead.
Vikings 7.
Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Has this at the 6. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Vikings with the football here late in the half. They could use something to trim that deficit, and enough time left to maybe get this near field goal range. There's 35 seconds to go in the half as they are ready to begin their drive. Here's Darnold to throw. No place to go, so he just threw it away.
You know, Kate, that was one of those situations where you hear a quarterback having a clock, right? You know, and he had enough time in the pocket, but then it was like, okay, time is running out, and I got to do something. He did not force a throw and risk a pick. Instead, he just got rid of it and cut his losses.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Darnold looking to throw. Fires over the middle. Caught. And they touch him down. Looks to be about 4 yards short of 6. And the Texans go in nickel coverage, third down. Now they'll throw out of the gun. The ball's out. The ball's out. He lost it. But fortunately, the Vikings stay calm. They were able to get to it. Crisis averted. They keep possession. They'll come up first and 10. To throw, here's Darnold. And this one falls incomplete. Still 17 seconds left to play.
I think you're seeing why they like this guy in coverage, man. He reacts well to throws and is so adept in breaking up passes right through contact or before they ever reach the target.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. Throwing it again here. The Texans close it in, and they will get him. Timeout coming from the Texans. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. So not an enviable spot here as they come up on third and very long. Quickly looking left, and it's complete. And he'll get it up to the 27. Just before halftime, we get a timeout taken. Minnesota lined up in punt formation. On the return for the Texans, Steven Sims. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. Fair catch, but we can see both a flag and a punter on the ground. Let's see if this is a call for 5 or 15 yards. Thought he had a chance to block it, but he ends up wiping out the kicker instead, and that's going to award their offense a first down.
Automatic first down.
One last play before the break. One final shot before halftime. Flush down out to his left. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. We've come to halftime. The Texans in unfriendly confines. But hey, they've got the lead. Now we'll send you south to our Orlando studios for the EA Sports Halftime Report with Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. It was Joe Mixon who had it working in the first half. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead.
All right, thank you, Coach. And we are back and about set to begin the second half. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. He's stopped on the return at the 27. Out come the Vikings for the debut possession of our second half. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them. Really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They go play action here. Able to find Jones. Nowhere really for him to go. He steps out, and they're going to lose some yardage.
Well, if they were concerned about losing yards, running it on first down, it just happened anyway. Not many passes end in a loss. Hopefully they got a little more aggressive strategy coming here on second down.
Darnold. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
I think everybody on the offense was already thinking about the next play to run as they watch that short little throw to the tight end. You really don't expect to see many of those gimmies dropped.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Here's Darnold. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
The Vikings getting their punt team out. Ryan Wright's the one to send it away. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. And they bring him down to put a stop to that return. Big kick on that one, 62 yards. And they're going to take over possession. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Shotgun now, first round. Pass taken in by Diggs. And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line.
Well, nothing very fancy about that. That's just a textbook curl route. I think they were running curl routes last century, and it's a play that works a high percentage of the time then, just like it did now.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Going right side, Mixon with it. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
An offensive group really hoped he was going to get it all right there, reset it back to 1st down. But instead, defense, well, they're not going to let anything come easy. And their fight is giving them a chance to stall things out on the 3rd and short.
Battle coming up on 3rd and inches. Keeping it with Mixon. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
You felt it the second this play bounced toward the outside, this defense responded. They pounced. That was their chance to get to him before he could get the couple inches he needed for a 1st down.
The Texans set to punt. And this is the 2nd time he's been brought on to kick it. He sends this away, and oh, this is going to be a field flipper. He's got it at the 24. And they bring him down to put a stop to that return. It's a 61-yard punt that time. And it'll be their football. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Now Darnold. Down the middle, complete. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. It's a 30-yard play, Brock, and they've got a fresh set of downs.
You throw it in the middle of the field, it's all about anticipation and accuracy. I mean, those are the 2 keys all the time in my book, Kate. But when you throw it in the middle of the field with all of the traffic, that's where guys with great anticipation and that tremendous accuracy come to life.
So the big play gets him inside the opposing 45, Brock, with a new set of downs to boot. Counterplay, Jones. And his effort results in maybe 2 yards, but nothing more.
These are the kind of runs, Kate, that just soften up a defense. Keep working on them, keep working on them. And eventually you're going to break one of those counters for even bigger yardage.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Out of the gun, a give to Jones. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to give the Vikings the 1st down.
To play running back in this league, well, you've got to have tremendous vision. We saw it twice. Once to find the lane upfield, and then to get to space and break off some extra yards.
Darnold now to throw. And no one had a shot at that. It's at the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Well, Kate, that wasn't a fast enough break for the interception, but it was good enough and a good enough break to break on the ball, get a finger on it, and force the incompletion.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Throwing off the play fake here. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete.
That's a very quick trigger, and the hurry throw was much tougher to complete. He may have rushed that one thinking the pressure was just about to get to him in the pocket.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Minnesota! The Vikings shrinking the lead some in the 3rd. Jordan Addison, the touchdown. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
That one splits the uprights. And they're a point closer now on the scoreboard. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Fielded at the 7. Returns looking good so far. They'll begin from the 36 as the returner's brought down. The Texans and C.J. Stroud all set to go for their next drive. And he has continued to own this defense and keep on throwing that football, partner, making this performance one that he's going to remember, but as you like to say, the defense would probably rather forget. The Texans set up nicely as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. They'll begin with a run by Mixon. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals a first down.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Couldn't connect to a takedown. And that means 3rd down coming up.
Boy, offenses that connect in this intermediate zone are so effective. Getting a completion in that area, it not just sparks your offense, but it just turns that aggressive meter way up. They just couldn't quite find the connection.
That's caught for the 1st. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They pick up 20 yards there, and it sets up a Houston 1st.
Wow, certainly found the weak spot in the coverage with that catch. Really goes to show they trust every single player, receiver, running back, in that case tight end, to be a playmaker in this offense.
New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. On play action, here's Stroud. Cut by Diggs. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 22 on that one. And the Texans are going to have a 1st down.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
To the air yet again, it's Stroud. Diggs there to bring it in. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Staying between the tackles with Mixon. And he's brought down for a loss.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Stroud escapes the pocket. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. Defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
Hey, that's not an easy thing to do, Kate. Not against quarterbacks and the red zone offenses in this league, but what a tremendous effort to not only get the stop, but to end it with gusto and a sack.
Kaimi Fairbairn out there now to try a field goal for the Texans on this 4th down. From 37 yards in the right hash. And it is good. No problems there on the shorter attempt. And that'll push it to double digits in a 2-possession game.
You always feel like you leave a few points on the field when you kick it from here, but they don't wind up empty-handed on the drive. And the kicker, well, he gets to pad his stats a little bit with a high percentage make.
Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Ty Chandler to return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Vikings send receiver Jordan Addison getting set for this next drive. And they're going to try to take the lead back to 1 possession here after that last score pushed it up to 24-14. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Sending a receiver left. Hands it to the receiver here in motion. Oh, look at this sweep. And he sneaks this through the middle, maybe a gain of 2.
Tried to mix in a little wide receiver carry and catch this defense on its heels. We've seen it work time and again, and it almost got there. Without that tackle, we could have seen a big gainer. But give some credit to the defense where credit is due.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. From the 31. That's Jefferson. He's got it. And he's brought down after a short gain. The Texans bringing out an extra DB. 3rd down coming up. Here's Darnold to throw. Short pass caught by his tight end.
You get to that money down, that 3rd down, you look to your money players, and this tight end is capable of it. Let's give some credit to the defense right there. Did an amazing job, not only sticking to him, but bringing him down before he can move the chains.
Punt team on the field. And he's hoping for a well-placed strike. And he sends this away. Definitely his best kick of the game thus far. Same as a touchback here. Fair catch made at the 20. That punt goes unanswered. No return there. And it's going to be Texans football. Chance here for one final play before the end of the quarter. Stroud throwing here on 1st. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
2nd and 10, Stroud to throw. Tight end reels in the shallow throw. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. Just 1 quarter remaining in this one. It's the Texans in possession of it, needing to preserve that lead over 1 final quarter. Markers reset, ball at the 37. First down, Stroud. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
You know, the goal on a lot of these short throws is to simply let the receiver create some yards after the catch, that yak. Well, I think he was thinking about the yak before he actually secured the catch.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. From the gun, Stroud. Short pass caught by his tight end. Decent gain here, but short of the first.
You get this big old dude like him in the slot, it's an automatic mismatch advantage. You're trading a little bit of speed, sure. You sure do get a lot of size. And anytime he's in the slot, you got to assume the ball's going his way.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Here's Stroud. He goes back to him yet again, complete. And he's able to cross midfield before going out. That one gains 7. And it sets up a Houston first.
I know I could sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
He's got it to him yet again, and that one is caught. It's a pickup of 11, and the Texans are going to have a first down.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. Stroud off the play fake. Put the body on the line for his team. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains.
This is one of those plays you're going to see on tape this week, I guarantee you. Not because of the catch, but because of the effort. Lays out and brings in the off-target throw.
They'll come up 1st and 10. From the red zone now. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Running with Mixon out of the gun. And this one stopped at the 3-yard line. 9-yard pickup, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that 3rd down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in their pocket for a later occasion.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Shotgun now for Stroud. And he will score. It's a Houston touchdown. The Texans can put this out of reach as they make it a 16-point lead. It's a Stephon Diggs touchdown. He hung in there as long as he could. A lot of quarterbacks would have bailed out, and it was what you talk about, Brock, that courage that kept the chance for the touchdown alive.
Yeah, that touchdown's going to show up on his stat sheet making the catch or the quarterback stat sheet for making the throw, but hey, can we put some touchdowns up there for the big boys up front? It was their blocking and buying of time for that play that led to the score.
Fairbairn now for the PAT. And the kick is good. And we're going to have some extra yardage added to the kickoff on the roughing call.
Roughing the kick. Defense.
So they tag him for roughing the kicker. And now this kickoff's going to come from the 50. Let's see if they loft in and try to stick him deep. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense back to the field now. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. First and 10 now from the 30. Darnold. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Jimmy Ward has it. by a man, and now he's in the clear. And the Texans bring it all the way back inside the red zone before he's finally hauled down.
I've not yet in my lifetime come across a defender who hasn't told me how great an offensive player they were back in the day. Oh, you should have seen me as a running back or wide receiver. Well, right there, that defender showed some of that background. A brilliant job of getting into the open field and setting his offense up for success.
The Houston offense out and ready to set up shop. And taking a look at these highlights, Brock, just a reminder of the type of game that they have had throwing the football. It really has been the key to their success.
Yeah, they've just not only stayed on schedule here, Kate. Man, they've made some music, right? Great rhythm.
Yeah.
Not just ahead of schedule, but huge plays have followed. We've seen a lot of different looks and wrinkles throughout this performance, and it's been a joy to watch.
And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. To the air, Stroud. Fires over the middle, caught. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 9-yard line.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Now they'll throw out of the gun. Intercepted in the end zone. Picked up by Stephon Gilmore.
I know exactly what the quarterback was envisioning when he let that one go. Touchdown, baby. Not long after, I know exactly what he was thinking. Oh, no! Give me that one back, because the coverage baited him perfectly into that throw, and even more so, picked it off.
The Minnesota offense ready to set up shop again. They are coming off their first interception of the game. This drive now a chance to rebuild some confidence. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air.
Oh, look at those savvy linebackers. They're just right in the middle of everything, aren't they, Kate? And it seems like at times they are the quickest reactions as well. He needed a quick one right there to get a finger on the throw and change its direction.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Throwing here, Darnold. Got him in over the middle, complete. And he's short of the 1st after a mild gain. Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Shotgun snap, they're gonna throw. And there's a man there, it's intercepted. Azeez Al-Shire has it. Well, no doubt there was some doom and gloom on the sideline following their interception, right? But a little bit of new life now as their defense picks him up, gets it right back for them.
Hey, I am all for a nice little game of one-upmanship between these two defenses. You picked our guy off, fine. We'll answer right away. See how you follow that up.
The Texans and Stephon Diggs getting set for this next offensive possession. Even though they've got a 3-score lead, still a lot of time left, so they're going to try to grow it even further. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Collins, the receiver, in motion left. 1st and 10, are on to Mixon. And he gets this forward to the 19. Big gain, 14 on the play. And it sets up a Houston 1st.
Yeah, you want to get above 5 yards to carry? Well, put together runs like that. And I'll tell you what else a run like that does, Kate. That sets up the play action, right? When you really just gouge and gash a defense like that, And next time you run that action, they're going to be thinking running the ball to go right over their head.
And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line. That's a gain of 13, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
You know, the elite running backs in this league, they don't just see what's right in front of them. You set up big runs like this because they see what's behind them. That's called extraordinary vision and extra yards.
Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. And oh, he got it! Interception! Picked up by Stephon Gilmore. So the turnover, Brock, is in turn turned over after pass interference on that play. Throwing is Stroud. Almost had 6, but can't find him in the end zone. Incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. And it'll be 2nd and goal. Still a couple of shots at this one.
That play is so impressive on so many levels. Not just because it saves a touchdown, Kate. He had to time that perfectly to knock it free without drawing a flag or let him establish possession for the score. That is so good.
And he'll get this across. Touchdown, Houston. The Texans put up even more points in a win. It's a Joe Mixon touchdown. It's what every player who scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get right back there and put another 6 on the board.
I've never met an NFL player content with one end zone trip in a game.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're content, you're not making it to this league. You get one, you're instantly thinking of another, and the fortunate few are able to actually deliver on it.
Fairbairn now for the PAT. That one right down the middle. And they'll continue adding to their lead.
Vikings 14.
Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Here's a return from the 7. He stopped on the return at the 27. Now the Minnesota offense trotting out. And the last 2 drives have been teaching tape for that defense, Brock, and probably have earned this offense a lecture in the near future as well. Just haven't been able to take care of that football.
Yeah, I just kind of want to focus on those guys, everything they're doing on that side, because the humble pie this offense has eaten, it's been a tough watch.
Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw here and shake off that previous INT. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be 2nd down.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. They go play action here. Flushed out of the pocket. He's going to tuck it and run. And he protects himself with a slide there after a decent gain.
This is one of those occasions that it looks so promising when you take off as a quarterback, and then you're reminded just how fast these defenses are in the NFL. Couldn't quite move the chains, but it wasn't for a lack of trying.
And the Texans go in nickel coverage, 3rd down. To throw, here's Darnold. Complete beyond the marker. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the 1st down.
You know, Kate, they say a dog is a man's best friend. Well, a tight end that moves the chains on 3rd down, that's a QB's best friend.
New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Darnold looking to throw. Jefferson brings it in on the slant. And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks. It's the 2-minute warning here in Minneapolis. Vikings trying to make it look a little nicer on that scoreboard. Here's Darnold to throw. He completes it in traffic. And he's able to get this down to the 36.
You know, I'm really not sure if that was an intentionally brave play to challenge double coverage or just simply not seeing the two defenders. Either way, what a tremendous throw and catch that earns some momentum.
From the 36. Able to find Jones. And they bring him down around the 34. He only finds a window for 2, but that's still enough for a first down.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Here's Darnold. Pass is caught by Addison. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 27. Jones reels it in. They'll have 1st and goal to go now after they gained 18 on the previous play.
Kate, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns, he puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. And he won't escape this. The Texans take him down. Minnesota spends its 2nd time out here. Still one more in their pocket to use. It's 2nd and goal. Another try following the sack. Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground. Not on the same page with his tight end. And that brings up 3rd and goal.
You know, when we were growing up in the backyard, we call them alligators. 1 alligator, 2 alligator, 3 alligator. He needed another alligator in order to get that ball off. Credit the defense for forcing the incompletion.
3rd and long for him here. He keeps those feet in and makes the catch.
Hey, Kate, you know this from covering the Seahawks, calling their preseason game. When Pete Carroll was there, if he said it once, he said it 100 times. Stay on top, stay on top, stay on top. You'll give up a short little out route like that, but just stay on top of the deep threat.
3 plays haven't gotten it done. Now a 4th to try to reach that end zone. Oh my, it's intercepted in the end zone. Kamari Lassiter with the pick.
Red zone defense. It is a part of the practice week at least twice, Thursdays, Fridays, even tuning it up on Saturdays, because it's all about protecting in the red zone. And not only protecting points, but taking the ball away. That is a gold star effort by the defense.
Out now come the Texans on offense. And with just a lone timeout remaining across the field, they're going to be able to run out this clock on the victory. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on 1st down. And they'll take a knee.
They could stop the clock now if they choose. In the final moments of the game, every second counts. If you're going to call a timeout, you want to be right next to that official to signal it in just as that knee goes down.
Lining up to take a knee on 2nd down. So the Texans come away with the road win. Well, as they celebrate to the boos of the home crowd, I'm sure you're having flashbacks, buddy. It's got to be music to their ears, hearing those fans voice their displeasure.
It is so sweet, Kate, when you win on the road for a couple reasons. Yeah, I do remember. I remember silencing those road crowds. There's no better feeling than to hear, those boos and those cheers and all that noise just silenced because you beat them in their building. You know the other great sound? The plane ride home. Those are some of the greatest memories you have to celebrate that road victory and a whole road trip home to take it all in.